In this video, we'll take a look at games I own but have never played. I'm sure I'm not the only one who's in this situation. Sometimes a good deal comes along and you buy it, but then you never get around to it for some reason. This video is only going to be about physical games that I bought myself. No digital, no gifts. Besides, as is already known, buying digital games on sale and never playing them is pretty common. What would I even say about digital games? I bought a game on a Steam sale and never played it. Yeah, that's not exactly interesting. Not that I'm claiming that this video is going to be interesting. I'm also excluding anthologies. For example, I have a Need for Speed compilation from NFS 1 to Hot Pursuit 2, but I got it mainly for NFS 3 and Porsche, so there's a few I didn't play. Same thing with the Elder Scrolls anthology. I haven't tried the first two games of the series. There's more than a dozen games to talk about, so let's get started, and none of the games are in any particular order, just so you know. Odin Sphere for the PS2. I love Vanillaware games. In fact, my review of the Wii version of Muramasa is what kicked off the channel in the first place. I also have Grim Grimoire for the PS2, which I enjoyed very much, but Odin Sphere is the one I picked up and never ended up playing. I think I got it really cheap on eBay for around 15 Canadian bud. Here it is all sealed up and factory fresh. I have seen gameplay footage of it, so I kind of know what it's all about. I think I just never got around to it, especially after the remakes came out. I'm at that weird spot where I'd rather play the remake, but at the same time I don't want to buy a game I already have. Persona 2 for the PSP. Every time I do a Where to Start video, I get tons of requests to talk about the Persona games, but I've never played any of them. I do, however, own the Persona 2 limited edition. I opened it up and even copied the game onto a memory stick on both by modded PSPs. It's a bit daunting to get into a new series. I always hear how people say that these are long games, and honestly I can't really find the time to play them, which is why you often see me stick to my favorites like Neptunia, Senran Kagura, or Disgaea, for example, or the mainstream stuff like Zelda. It's a bit off topic, but to everyone who's in school at the moment and doesn't have a job or only a part-time job, you'll miss those times eventually. That amount of free time you don't think you have now is a luxury that is long gone for me. Dissidia Final Fantasy for the PSP. When the Vita first came out, PSP games were still on the shelves for a while. My local Best Buy cleared out a bunch of PSP stuff and I literally cleaned up the shelf. Sounds more impressive than it actually was. It was just this and Final Fantasy II, I think. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I never ended up playing this game. I don't even know what kind of game this is. To Lavru Darkness Battle Ecstasy Limited Edition for Vita. Some of you intellectuals might know about the To Lavru series. This is a Japanese game, which is the main reason I haven't played it. It is a limited edition, so it's got a few things in here like a body pillow, which is pretty interesting. There's also a Momo sticker, which I don't really know exactly where that is, but it's probably migrated somewhere to probably into another limited edition somehow. I really like the way this looks in terms of the packaging. It just doesn't look like anything we get here, even compared to other Japanese games, so it's something that definitely stands out on my shelf if it wasn't buried underneath other random limited editions. This is a beat-em-up from what I've seen, and it's got a bunch of fan service apparently. And also not surprisingly if you know what To Lavru is. Ar Tonaliko Koga, oh geez, for the PS3, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I do have some memories of this game, but I think I watched a playthrough of it or something. If I did play it, it wasn't for long, that's for sure. It's a JRPG by Gust and Banpresto. It's also on the fan servicey side of things if you look at the art book. Keen-eyed people might notice that this is the same style box as the limited edition of the first Neptunia game. NIS America made all of their LEs look like this at the time. I actually wouldn't mind the limited edition of Atelier Iris, which also has the same box design. That way I would have a proper set of the Arlan trilogy. I was thinking about doing a video about the PS3 anime niche game era, so maybe that could be a good time to at least play this game a little bit. Atelier Iris 3 Grand Phantasm for the PS2. This game I bought in Walmart for like $10, I think, along with Grim Grimoire, which was $20, and Automedius Excellent, which was also about $10. They had literal piles of these games. I think there were like 50 copies of each game, and they were around for like months, and I think in the end they just binned them or something. If I were to start playing a PS2 Atelier game, I don't think it would be this one, so that's why it remained unplayed so far. But it was just such a good deal, so I picked it up anyways. This is an era of JRPGs I haven't really explored too much, but I'd rather start with the first Atelier PS2 game, or maybe another series. Bioshock II LE for the PC. I already did a video about this game, or the limited edition of it anyways. I only bought this because it was 99 cents brand new from EB Games. This is like the best deal ever. It comes with a CD and LP soundtrack, which is quite something. Only the outside sleeve is buggered, everything else is actually perfect. And the soundtracks are great. I don't have a particular interest in the Bioshock series. I think I played the demo for the first game once, but I felt indifferent playing it. I just wanted the record, basically. SOCOM US Navy SEALs for the PS2. I did say that the video is only for games I bought, but I got this one for free, and got it because it came with a few other games at a retro video game store. They had some sort of sale going on where everything was around 25% off the regular price, and they threw in a few games they probably couldn't sell. I bought the GBA version of A Link to the Past as well as Chrono Cross that day. That was for the PS1, Chrono Cross that is. So yeah, I didn't really care too much about SOCOM. That being said, I did play SOCOM 2 back in the day, like with a friend, so I have some indirect experience, I guess. I didn't know how to play with a controller back then though, since I was a computer gamer during high school for the most part. Chrono Cross for the PS1. Might as well talk about this now. Since it's a sequel to Chrono Trigger, I figured I should probably play that one first. And of course I don't own it, so here it is. It's got the horrific green greatest hits thing going on. Literally one of the worst greatest hits designs I've ever seen, but it does grab your attention, so I guess that's good. I only own 2 PS1 games. The other is Driver 2, which is the best PlayStation game ever made. Move over, Final Fantasy VII. If I had to, I would trade multiple copies of Final Fantasy VII for Driver 2. I'm sure that'll go over well. F-15 Strike Eagle 2 for the Genesis. I think this game came with my Genesis when I bought it, and it's a nice representation of a well-preserved case, cartridge, and manual. It's all complete, but it's not a game that I get excited about, so it just exists on a shelf, basically. No Search Plus for the Vita. I've shown this game a few times in my videos, including an unboxing and a few other Vita videos, because this happens to be one of the most expensive Vita games to buy nowadays. I bought this at a time where I couldn't allow myself the time to try out new games anymore, so this was another one that was put on a shelf and never played. Technically, I could just sell it and make a profit even though it's not sealed. I don't know what to do with it at the moment. It's tempting to sell it. Pokemon Moon for the 3DS. I've already talked about my disappointment of Gen 7 Pokemon games. I bought the Steelbook version that has both Sun and Moon. I played Sun for maybe like 20 hours, lost interest and never opened Moon. I will force myself to finish Sun before Gen 8 comes out, but something tells me that Moon will remain sealed for now. The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS. As strange as it sounds, I've never played this game despite making that Where to Start video on the Zelda series. Because it features the same version of Hyrule found in Link to the Past, I haven't really been keen on playing A Link Between Worlds because I want to finish A Link to the Past first. I'm very far into Link to the Past, but I've taken a bit of a hiatus with that game, which is bad because I'm the type of person who gets really bad at games after not playing them for a while. And lastly, it's Devil May Cry 4 for the PC. I know nothing about the Devil May Cry series, but I think the name of it is kind of funny. It's like a possibility, Devil May Cry. I spent less than $1 on this game because Zellers was going out of business during that time. There's a few things I bought at the same time, which was like around 10 PS2 iToys for around 99 cents each, and a GBA wireless adapter for the same price. I remember the cashier telling me, I don't know what these are, but you're getting a hell of a deal. And these are the games I've never played. There are a bunch I've only played for a very little while, but I figured this list is already big enough. Maybe making this video allowed me to at least get a little bit of value out of them in a different way, but I still look at them at times and just see wasted money, which is why these days I only buy games from a few of my personal favorite series. That being said, some of these games I enjoy having in my collection, like the Zelda game and some of the niche Japanese games too. If you've played some of the games I talked about today, let me know in the comments. Maybe you can convince me to start playing them. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like the video if you did. Subscribe if you want to keep up with any of the new videos I do. Patreon if you want to help out the channel and get some cool perks like watching videos before they come out here on YouTube. There's also a second channel if you want to see occasional videos that don't really fit the main channel that much, like for example gameplay footage and behind the scenes stuff. Twitter, Discord, and all that good stuff too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.